Ah, projectile!
What was broken shall be reforged. Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my armory. So as you saw there, my Brazier decided to become a two-piece object, or three-piece technically, at DreamHack back in April. And so it's time to fix it. And not just fix it, but also, let's build a power sword. So first off I had to remove the cellophane and the lighting and light cone so as to be able to work on both replacing the box and also making a proper mounting for or reinforcing the pole mount. As with the way it flew off, I needed to attach a cording or strapping down the centre of the prop to actually then have it fed through the pole for the prop, so it could be attached properly and reinforce the thing. You see me here with it glued through. I'm struggling to get the lights through, so I've used a elastic cord to pull the lights through a gap that I found in the side of the foam. This allowed me to actually then get the lights all through. I've got the lights on so you can see what I'm doing. And just taking the lights off the thing so you can see. Now I've got the lights in a little bag there so as to make things easier, and I've just glued on the strapping so as to have it stuck in, and then I bound around it with some foam that I didn't continue the binding process on because of time constraints. I may well go back to it in future, but till then, here's how far I got with the binding. And now it's time to fix up the lights. So bringing back that light cone, running the LEDs through it. I had to put in a new pack because the lock bracket for the cover of the old pack got broken, which is why I was so willing to be brutal to the pack. Now, I'm losing the camera here. So you see me threading the LEDs through and winding them around the centre light chamber for the Brazier. That's both so that I can get as much light emanating through the cellophane as possible, and also arguing with the stand during the time as well. So you see me coming in first with, I'd put in a little bit of the orange down the centre and then shoved yellow cellophane in there so as to add a yellow core to the light, and then came back in with orange and shoved more down the centre, and then shoved orange around and fed it through. Now there is a little bit of glue down the centre on the inside of the Brazier's mount on the top of the skull, which I was able to hook the actual cellophane in, and then I come in with scissors and trim it to make it look a bit more flamish. Then you can see here I've just got a little side bit that I'm working on, which was repairing a pair of repairing a what's the word for it? Van brace plate that attaches onto my arm, making use of a camera that is the camera's trying to fall over. Basically took the tea lights out of their packet, and I'm trying to catch on camera how that worked. So the tea lights go inside the van brace to light it up. In future I might just make the van brace sit a bit higher and maybe use better lights. Oh well. So yes, back to the build. You can see in the background there some of the bound handle, and I've actually got the full shot of it there. And just afterwards I covered it with tape so as to hide any mess on it and make it look relatively cohesive, also give me something comfortable to grab. And so it's onto the power sword. So I started off with a cardboard template for the blade, cut that out of transparent foam, threaded, then I wound LEDs around the blade and put them along the stem, and built a handguard that was going to be strong enough to hold the weight of the battery pack. I've got a skull here that I cast out of foam clay, and I'm just cutting down a piece of pipe that's going to act as the hand grip, the core of the hand grip for the actual prop. once I've glued in the once I've glued it on over the little bound bit. Then we've got me working on the handguard here, which includes an Aquila on both sides, and I've made it so that I can actually have the handguard have a part of the handguard be removable so that I can access the battery pack. Now, in hindsight, I would have liked to, well, if I was doing actual proper electronics on this thing, I'd be putting the handguard power, I'd put the power switch in the handguard, but I wasn't. I was using pre-wired electronics because that way I don't have to mess around with soldering. And you see me here binding up the hand grip, and that skull I cast using a mould off eBay, and that's intended for fondue. Bit grim for fondue, but yeah, now you see the actual blade lit up and it before I hit it with some spray paint and then hit it with some gold. But yes, that's how the light effects work. It's not amazing. I certainly will use a different method when I go to make a Canon S power sword, but here's how it looks with some spray paint on it. And so, they are relatively done. Now there are things I can improve on them. I will eventually get around to going over and using a better gold than I used on there. Don't get me wrong, Retributor armour is great, but it works better on miniatures than on props. It was basically a case of what gold can I find quickly. I know, Retributor. At least I think it was Retributor. I have like 6 of them thanks to part work magazines. I ended up with an utter mountain of them from the Warhammer Conquest magazine, because I went through and grabbed lots of issue 1 back when that was a thing. But yes, we've got the Brazier of Holy Fire here, looking fiery, and we've got the power sword. Now, the power sword, you can actually see the mounting bracket when you're actually looking at it close, but that just means I end up holding it kind of that way, or holding it in angles so that it's not as visible. Overall, I like both of these. The power sword, the effect could be brighter. I could have used better LEDs on it, but that just comes down to a case of I didn't have any. I am experimenting more and more with lights as things go on, because I want to have lit props, and I would like for the blade on this thing to look like a lightsaber at some point where just the whole thing is illuminated. But that's a future project. Anyway, these were set up for a lantern parade, so here is coverage of the lantern parade. Because of public transport mess, I got there late, so I didn't get as much footage as I would have liked. But I hope you enjoy the footage that you can see on there, and yeah, I might well come back and touch up the paint job on these later in the year as part of some other cons crunch. It won't be for the one next weekend. And yes, I have a con next weekend. Fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy, and what 40k props would you like to see me make? Especially, say, Imperial stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.